So good evening, everybody. My name is Auzenne, and I'll be your presenter this evening. Hopefully what I'd like to do is be able to present you with enough information on the basic seminar that tonight, when we're complete, you'll be able to have enroll in the basic seminar. All right, is that fair enough? So hopefully, much like a parachute, the mind works best when it's open. So over the next hour or so, if you'll find some value in what I say or what your friends have told you, then at the end of the evening, you'll be able to register for the basic seminar. Fair enough? All right, great. So the first thing I like to do is find out what you've heard about the basic seminar. That makes it easier for me to maybe, cover some of those items during the course of the presentation. So what have you heard about the basic seminar?
Oh, holy moly! You learned about yourself.
Okay, good. How about you?
Same thing.
Same person who invited you tonight. Okay.
Life changing.
Life changing. Very good. Very good. How about you?
There's great communication exercises in the class.
That's true. Very good. Well, good. One of the reasons that it's difficult to understand what goes on in the basics is because it's experiential, meaning that everybody will have a different experience. We're not all in the same spot. So the basic seminar is designed that there's about 40% instruction and about 60% you do the exercise. So everybody has a different experience, so a lot of times it's difficult to explain. I'll give you a good example. Who here loves chocolate? Kill for chocolate, right? How would you explain to someone that has never eaten chocolate what chocolate tastes like?
Yummy.
Yep. Yep. Smooth, creamy. That could be satisfying. It could describe a lot of things. So the whole idea is that it's difficult to explain because you have to experience it. So the same way with the basic seminar. So hopefully tonight I'll give you enough information that'll help you with the decision. So let's dive right in. So, well, a little bit of background information. SCI Seminars is about 38 years old. Their corporate office is in Clear Lake Oaks, California. They have offices in several different cities, and they do basics across the U.S. So the basic seminar has been around a long time, so it's not an experiment that we made up last week and you're the guinea pig. Okay? If you want more information, they have a website, psiseminars.com. And if you're a brochure person, there's some brochures on the back. We can talk about it later. Seminar is an educational course, period. What do most people think when they think education? Learning, lecture, sitting around. So, but the truth is that the root word of education is educo, a Latin root meaning to draw forth or bring out. So PSI's philosophy is that you were born with everything you need to be successful. But a lot of times, events occur in our lives, and we make decisions about other people, places in the world. And those decisions we start to run on the rest of our lives. And so a lot of times we kind of run on autopilot. How many here would agree? For those of you that don't, I'll give you a little quick example. How many here have ever driven a stick shift car? All right. How many of you have ever seen a stick shift car? How many are going to raise their hand? Okay, so what does that person look like when they first start driving that car? Bobbing the head, it is the bobbing. And then the guy in the passenger seat saying what? Let it out slow, as if that means anything to the driver. So what does that person look like a couple months later? He's very aware of every decision, right? Got an extra pedal on the floor, the brake is up here, and they're very careful, cautious, and God forbid they end up on a hill, right? What does that person look like 9 months later? Starbucks between their legs, cigarette in their hand, cell phone on their, and they drive the car that way the rest of their life. They don't even think about what's going on, right? So they've become accustomed. They've patterned themselves. They have what SCI Seminars refers to as a program. And so a lot of times we run our lives on a program. So the whole idea behind the basic seminar, it's a course, just simply a class that you can challenge yourself, explore questions, discover your own life such that you expand your personal and professional effectiveness now. And what does that really mean? Well, it means you get to look at your life like a third-party perspective, like you're on videotape. You get to kind of take your brain out and go, hey, that's interesting. Because a lot of times we don't even know why we have the results we have or don't have in our life. Does that make sense? A lot of times we want more money, but we end up with the same job. Or we want a better relationship, but we end up with the same Mr. Wrong or Mrs. Wrong, right? So why is that? So the whole idea behind the basic seminar is you get to look at all those patterns and those thought processes and say, hey, this is working in my life and this isn't working so well. And now maybe I have an opportunity to change. Make sense? Kind of as an example, I used to be in the pharmaceutical industry, so I used to take doctors golfing all the time. And one of the problems I have with my golf swings, I have a bad slice. I can never get consistent on my drive, and I practice and do all of this stuff, and I still have a slice. One time I took one of those little 3-day Mexican Riviera cruises, and the back of the boat, they had a little guy with a cage and cameras, and he would take a video of your swing, and then he would take the screen and cut it in half, put a pro on one side and you on the other, and step by step he would show you what your swing looked like. So what I looked like is on my backswing I had a little hooky thing, probably left over from softball or baseball, and I was jumping on the ball and I had this bad slice. Now you think, had I known I was doing that, would I have kept practicing that way? Would I have kept doing the same things over and over? So that's the same way in our lives. Things happen to us when we're younger. We make decisions about other people, places in the world, and then we run our lives based on those decisions. Personal example for me, somewhere around 6th, 7th grade, started dating girls, and they would say, Fred, we need to have a talk. What does that mean? It's the breakup talk, right? So I made a choice then that I didn't want to feel that pain, so I started, like, if some girl said we need to have a talk, I looked like a cartoon character who moved so fast their shadow was still standing, right? And so I lived my life that way for a long time. Like, a long-term relationship to me was both Friday and Saturday night, right? So along about 42 years old, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I don't want to be 50 with a ponytail driving a vet, right? So I got to figure out how to do something different. And it was right after I took the basic seminar, I needed to start doing things differently. So today, I'm married to the greatest woman in the world. We've been married 6 years, and she doesn't need me in my life, in her life. I don't need her in mine. We're great together separately, but we're better together. 1 + 1 is 3. And so, but when I started dating her, I had to do everything differently. I had to buy cards, and buy flowers, and hold hands, and have talks on the couch, and go shopping, and do all the things that I thought squares did. So today we've created a lot of wealth, a lot of freedom. We've traveled the world. We've done a lot of great things. Now, is it a perfect relationship? No, she's not. She's working on it. All of this stuff. No, if there's a problem in the relationship, it's me, right? I gotta look at me. So the whole idea is I got to look at myself and say, I've got to do everything different. Now, all those things I did differently, did they all work? No, some of them blew up in my face, but it was different than what I did before, because it was like the golf swing. I got to look at myself from a third-party perspective and say, this isn't going to continue to work. I'm not going to be able to do the same results, the same things, and expect different results. So that's the whole idea behind the basic seminar. And we want to increase our personal and professional effectiveness now, right? Not next week. So the next basic is Friday, August 19th. Registration's at 9:30. Class starts at 10, goes till 8. And Saturday 10 to 8, Sunday 10 to 8. Wednesday we have a graduation guest event, and the tuition's $5.95. A couple things about this. If you're worried that at the end of this presentation we're going to ask you to pay $5.95 and go to the basic, that's exactly what's going to happen. So get over it now. And the whole idea is that hopefully we'll find some value tonight and you won't go to the basic. If not, it's just an invitation to go. A couple things about this also. If you go to the seminar, this isn't a bladder test. You get a break every hour and a half, 2 hours. You put food on the back. You'll have a working lunch with your small group every day. So you'll be moving around. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be challenging. It'll be all of that stuff. You'll work one-on-one. You'll work in small groups, and you'll work with the entire room. So it'll go pretty quick. And it's over at the DoubleTree on Scottsdale. All right.